Everyone's chasing Nvidia. It was the poster child for AI. But if you're buying now, you're already too late. The wealthy 1% aren't piling in, they've already moved. Their play is this: silver, because without silver, none of this AI boom works, and there's a date coming up that could reset everything. The insiders, they're ready for it, but most people won't be. In this video, I'll show you the 5-step insider ladder, the framework that the wealthy use to back silver while everyone else is still clapping Nvidia.
Have you ever noticed how you only hear the rules after they've already changed? Well, you're not imagining it. That's how the system's set up. Ordinary people are handed the shiny story, aren't they? Nvidia, crypto.com, whatever's in fashion. Meanwhile, super wealthy insiders have already moved into something that looks boring but keeps them safe when the hype runs out.
And that you just mentioned there, Michelle, well, that's the scam in plain sight. You're told to chase what's hot, while the insiders, they're quietly buying what actually matters. And that gap between their game and your game is why most people end up broke, tired, and wondering what just happened. So if Nvidia isn't the play, what is? We'll get there in a minute. But first, let's talk about the lie you've been sold. People believe Nvidia can't fail, but every company does eventually. And when it happens, the bigger the hype, the harder the fall. If you're still holding when that happens, you won't just lose a few quid, you'll lose years. That's the cost of being late, and late is exactly where ordinary people always end up.
Yeah, that is really true, and the numbers prove it as well, don't they, Mark? Nvidia's price has broken free from reality. Even Wall Street say it. No company can grow fast enough to match that kind of hype. And don't forget, Nvidia isn't floating in the cloud. It needs real stuff, doesn't it? Silver, copper, lithium. If those get squeezed, then the AI boom doesn't just slow down, it stops altogether.
Yeah, and we've seen it before. Dot-coms, housing, crypto. Ordinary people buy the dream. The insiders, they cash out. And the latecomers, well, they get burned. Same story, but just a different decade.
Yeah, it's true every time. But right now, there's one date that you should definitely have on your radar. 17th of September, that's the next Fed meeting, and that's when the rules of money can actually shift again. The wealthy are already prepared. Most ordinary people are going to be blindsided.
And that you just mentioned is the part nobody's talking about. The elite expect that meeting to bring a rate reset. They believe it'll push the price of silver upward. That's why they're already positioned, while the public are still cheering for Nvidia. They're bracing for a reset and buying the metal AI can't live without.
And why is that? We've spoken, haven't we, with business owners and millionaires for over 30 years. And here's something that you'll never hear them brag about. Stock tips. That's for ordinary people. The insiders talk about assets, physical assets, things that you can actually hold, things they'll survive the resets, won't they?
Exactly. And here's what they know that most people don't. AI doesn't run on fresh air. It runs on hardware, chips, servers, data centers, EVs, solar panels, and every single one of them chews through silver. No silver, no AI. That's why the insiders' play isn't Nvidia anymore. Their play is silver, because silver is the master key behind the whole AI story, Michelle.
Yeah, and they don't just buy it randomly either. They follow a framework that we call the insider ladder. There's 5 steps that they climb every single time to protect themselves and their profit.
And those 5 steps, here's how it works. Step 1, physical silver. That's bars and bullion. The base layer, it's about safety, no counterparty risk. If the system cracks, it's still there in your hand. And then step 2, tax-free coins like these. In the UK, things like Britannia's or sovereigns. There's no VAT going in and no capital gains tax coming out. That's a legal loophole most ordinary people don't even know exists. And then step 3, Streamers, if you haven't heard of them, what they are specialist companies that finance the miners. In return, they get a slice of every ounce pulled out of the ground. They're much lower risk than the miners themselves because they don't carry the digging costs. Then, step 4 are the miners themselves. Higher risk, higher reward. When silver price rises, good miners often rise even faster, but they can also crash harder. So insiders balance that risk very carefully. And the final step is 5. These are the paper plays, ETFs, futures, contracts. The public just rushes in here first because it's so easy to just click, 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 click. But it's the riskiest layer because you don't actually own it. It's just paper.
Yeah, and here's the point. Miss one step and you're exposed totally. Insiders climb the whole ladder, and that's how they stay safe when resets hit, isn't it?
It is.
While ordinary people, usually they just get wiped out because they're just going in and picking one part like the paper plays.
And here's the truth. The wealthy don't kid themselves. They know buying a stock at the top isn't investing, it's gambling. The stock market's a casino, and the chips on that table aren't Nvidia shares. They're real assets, silver, land, stuff you can actually hold and feel. That's why they're still standing when the reset comes, while everyone else, well, they're left wondering, where did the winnings go?
And let me ask you something. So have a think about this. When you picture money, what do you see first? Do you see like numbers on a screen, or something that you can actually hold? If it's screens, don't blame yourself. We were all trained that way, digital, obedient, easy to manage. But if it's something tangible like gold, silver, or property, it shows that you've got a built-in instinct for independence. And that's not fear, that's actually being really smart.
And what you've just mentioned there, Michelle, that's the real difference. Some people are happy to stare at numbers on a screen until, it all disappears. The insiders, they don't. They hold something that's still there in the morning. It's just simple as that. After every reset, and still standing when the dust clears.
And remember, resets always come. Most people don't see them until it's too late. The insiders expect them though, don't they? That's why they stay ahead. And the question is, are you going to keep playing catch up, or are you going to start thinking like they do?
Yeah. And I think there's another point here to make. So don't wait for the reset to prove you wrong. Scrub side, subscribe, stay with us, because next time we'll ask the question most people run from. What if the monster you're scared of is actually you?
What, you?
Oh, it could be me.
Or me?
But I think it's you.